Hi folks, this is Raphael over at watchpital. Today I'm making a bracelet. These are freshwater pearls and they're 10 millimeter, slightly baroque. They're not fully round, but they're kind of nice. I'm going to be making a bracelet with a clasp that locks on one end. This is one that I already made. And the way it goes, this clasp opens up, has a safety catch here, figure 8, and it goes on, and you just kind of grab it around wherever you feel comfortable, and it's on. It's a nice sturdy, and it also has a figure 8 safety if you feel you need the extra security, and it locks. Now I already put these on string. First thing we're going to do is going to take a piece of our trusty old, now all of this is available at watchpital. This is a fine French wire, which I like using because it gives me a very nice finish and it protects the threads from being, from fraying. That's the term. Let me get my trusty glasses here. Okay, got them right in there. Now my little clasp here, it's kind of cool. You go through there once, you come back down through there again. Make sure you come through the right side. Jeez. Okay. Through the right side. Now, I just take my needle off. Run this over the top of my clasp. Tuck it up nice. So this is what you have. You have your clasp, your French wire. You bring your French wire down nice to the end. Down here, and this way when you tuck it in, it just finds its own way right there, and then you bring your first pearl up and you bring it nice and tight in there, and you bring your next pearl up. Now I'm using black thread because I want to make this band a little bit exciting, this bracelet. So I'm using black thread. I have pinks, I have whites, I have green. I have all types of colors of threads and thicknesses. You want to use something, when you're looking for the thickness of a thread, you want the thread, the bead to be able to hold itself right there. If it just falls down, those knots are going to be too strong. And if you pull it up and this goes like this, the knots are going to be too heavy. Otherwise, too strong, too thin, the knots will fall right through the holes. Too strong, and you'll constantly be fighting the thread when you're trying to tie your knots. Now, I've seen people tie knots with all kinds of tools. This was my favorite way of doing it, and of course, this is my own way of doing it. I could never spend an hour doing knotting when I can do it in a few minutes. It's just a matter of working this out. I've done miles and miles of stringing. I was the Chanel Repair Center for almost 40 years, and doing all of their necklaces and doing all of their beadwork. I kind of got pretty good at it, if I do say so myself. So I just knotted all of these. Okay, I can use, I normally don't knot the last bead, but since I'm adding a bead, I wanted to knot that last one. Now I'm going to take one thread out. I'm going to put my needle back on. And again, my needles are just very thin wire that I buy, because I can't stand paying a nickel for every needle and then throwing it out. Or the other thing is those things that come on, that thread that comes on a needle already. What do you do with the rest of the thread? You throw it away? Doesn't make sense to me. So I have my needle there. Again, I need a little piece of French wire. Oh, before I do that, I am going to take what they call a head pin. A head pin is a little pin with a little, just silver wire with a pin on it. I'm going to put it through a nice sized large pearl, because this is just going to dangle. See, like it's dangling here? That is just going to dangle there. Almost like an accessory. Now we tie that, bring it around a couple of times. And then we're going to nip it off. We're going to cut another little piece of French wire. You don't need much. You just need a little piece of French wire. And put that through there. Now we'll take our little dangle that we prepared. Run it through. We're going to run it back in. Don't let your French wire get tangled up, and it'll pull it in and it'll unstring it on you, and you'll have to start all over again. Now we're going to bring that all. Oh. Alright, I was hoping that wouldn't happen. I need another head pin. I think I might have squeezed it too hard and caused it to break. Be careful when you cut this one out, because you don't want to cut your thread. Okay, that was a slight error there. And what I'm going to do is not squeeze it so hard this time, but I'm going to put the wire on here so I don't have to unthread all of that stuff. And I'm going to wrap my little pigtail around here and nip it nice and close. Now we're going to, again, we're just going to put that on there. We're going to bring it nice and close. See, now we got that French wire caught right nicely in that loop, so it doesn't let the wire fray. Now we're just going to tie it. And I like to kind of rock it back and forth so it doesn't give me a loose piece of thread there. Otherwise your knot winds up in a very unsightly space between two beads. You don't want that. Bring it back and forth a little. Now I like to put my glue on right about this period, because now you have, your thread is wet. And when your thread is wet, it tightens up so much better. Just like rope, if you want to tie something tight, you wet the rope. This thing. And then I give it an extra knot or two before I clip it. And there we have the beautiful bracelet with a catch. It's a sterling silver cubic zirconium catch, and it has a figure-8 safety on it. There's the side with the cubic zirconium on it. This just goes on here and it catches on. It's a beautiful clasp for a necklace, for a bracelet. I noticed that I was having trouble finding really good bracelet clasps that are easy to control, easy to handle. I find that bracelets were made for people with 3 hands in order to get them on. So here we are. We have 2 of them. Very nicely done. And again, our French wire is available at watchpital. We also have the Lavish jewelry cleaner, which I find is the nicest jewelry cleaner on the market. It is organic, it doesn't harm stones. You can clean your pearls, you can clean jewelry, diamonds, you can clean emeralds. It's just a very good product. And as always, this is a watchpital, so we do a lot of watch repair, we do a lot of restoration on antique watches, as well as newer watches. So if there's a jewelry item or a jewelry issue or question that you have, please see us at watchpital.com. Thank you.